Welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel. I'm now answering question number 14 from the October-November 2022 International GCSE paper 2 variant 3 from the 0580 Cambridge paper or syllabus. And this question is about map scales and area, which is a very important topic which a lot of students don't know how to deal with. So it says a map has a scale of 1 to 200,000. Find the area in square kilometers, of a lake that has an area of 12.4 centimeters squared on the map. So we can see here there's a few things that we have to deal with. One of them is they gave us the area in terms of centimeters squared, and we've got to find the area in terms of kilometers. That's one thing we have to deal with. And secondly, that the map scale is 1 to 200,000. Now, what does that mean? Well, a scale, when it's given, is basically the ratio of the lengths. This is the ratio of the lengths of what's on the map to real life. Lengths, not areas, lengths. Whenever they give you a scale and they don't mention anything, then by default it is the ratio of the lengths of the things on the map as compared to the actual size of those things. So we've got to deal with a couple of issues here. First of all, we want to find the area on the map. Okay, so we're going from the real life area. Sorry, my bad. We have the area on the map. We want to find the area in real life. So we're going from the map to real life. Okay, so what we can do is we can take this ratio here and we can make it bigger over smaller. So it's 200,000 over 1. Now the reason why I'm teaching you like this is because sometimes the scale is, for example, 2 to 25. So, I mean, I could say just multiply by 200,000, but if it was like a scale of like, say 2 to 25, for example, then you'd multiply by 25 over 2. So that's the reason why I want to make sure that you understand exactly, how to deal with any type of situation. So in this case, I'll write 200,000 over 1, okay, and that's multiplied by the area on the map. But this is the ratio of the lengths. This is an area. So I have to square this. For me, we know that the ratio of the lengths squared gives me the ratio of the areas. And the ratio of the lengths cubed gives me the ratio of the volumes. So if I have the ratio of the lengths and I need to find an area, I need to multiply the area by the ratio of the areas, not by the ratio of the lengths. So I have to multiply by 200,000 squared. Yeah, so that's 200,000 over 1 squared. Okay, and then I have to now, this is going to give me my answer in centimeters squared. This answer will be in centimeters squared. I want it in kilometers squared. So for me to go from centimeters squared to kilometers squared, well, there's a few things we got to think about. First of all, let's think about in terms of centimeters. I have to go from centimeters to meters to kilometers. So from centimeters to meters, I have to divide by 100 because there's 100 centimeters in a meter. And I'm going from smaller to bigger. I have to divide. From meters to kilometers, I have to divide by 1,000 because there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. I'm going from smaller to larger, so I have to divide. So if I want to go directly from centimeters to kilometers, I have to divide by 100,000. However, I'm dealing here with units of area. So if I want to go from centimeters squared to meters squared to kilometers squared, I have to square each of these conversions. So this has to be divided from centimeters squared to kilometers squared. I have to divide by 100,000 squared. So I have to divide this by 100,000 squared. So I'll just write this over here, 100,000 squared. Now that's going to give you my answer in kilometers squared. Okay, that's going to give me my answer in kilometers squared. So I take my 12.4, I divide it by 100,000 squared, and I multiply that by 200,000 squared, basically. We don't need that one now because we know that. Let's predict it. So 200,000 squared, and that should give you my answer, which is 49.6 square kilometers. Okay, so that's how we deal with such a question as this. You have to be very careful. This is the scale or the ratio of the lengths. We have to make it into the ratio of the areas. We're going from map to real life, so we have to multiply by bigger over smaller. 200,000 over 1. If we were going from real life to map, we would do by 1 over 200,000. Okay, and then we would square that because we're going from, we're finding ratios of areas, and this is the ratio of lengths. And then to convert the units, we have to remember from centimeters to kilometers, you have to divide by 100,000. But from centimeters squared to kilometers squared, we divide by 100,000 squared. Okay, so there's actually a video where I go into a bit more detail in this particular topic, and I'm going to link that video at the end of this. You'll see a card appearing somewhere up here. Okay, at this moment here, you'll see a card appearing over here, and that card here will take you to this video where I go into a bit more detail about these ratios. Okay, that will be a card at the top that's appearing. And now that concludes this question. Other questions from this paper, this October-November 2022, paper 2 variant 3, can be found in the playlist that will appear over here. Other questions from the topic of map scales can be found in the playlist over here. I'll also include a playlist for similarity, okay? And I'll again link the video which I was talking about, which goes into more detail about this particular topic. I'll link it in this section over here at the end. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.